Doctors who got 0 marks or even negative marks in the NEET PG exam this year are now eligible to apply for a postgraduate medical seat in India. Basically, any MBBS graduate who appeared for the NEET PG exam can now get a medical seat. This is after the Union Health Ministry issued a circular on September 20th reducing the qualifying percentile for NEET PG to 0. While some medical bodies have welcomed the decision, many doctors and experts have called it absurd and bizarre. So why has the Union Health Ministry resorted to this move? Why are many opposing it? And what are the possible solutions? I'll be joined by Dr Yazhini PM, who is a PG medical student and a DMK spokesperson. Let's first begin with the numbers. As per the official data, there are around 64,000 PG medical seats in India. Out of this, only around 30,000 are government medical seats. The remaining are in private medical colleges. This year, over 2 lakh candidates took the NEET PG exam. So demand clearly outstrips the number of PG seats in India. So why has the qualifying percentile been reduced to 0? The Union Health Ministry said that the move would ensure that all vacant PG seats are filled up. The Health Secretary said that the move would ensure that all seats that go vacant, even in less popular specialties, would find takers. This, he argued, would prevent a national loss. But how many PG seats are going vacant this year? Neither the Health Ministry nor the National Medical Commission has released that data as of yet. But according to Times of India, there are more than 8,000 PG seats that are lying vacant. Last year, there were 4,400 PG seats that were not filled up. Medical bodies like the Indian Medical Association and the Federation of Residence Doctors Association have welcomed the move. In fact, both these medical associations had just weeks earlier written to the government requesting that the qualifying percentile be lowered to 30. Just FYI, the cutoff percentile for students of general category was earlier 50, while it was 45 for persons with disability and 40 for students of other reserved categories. The Union Health Ministry circular now makes the qualifying percentile 0 across categories. The only argument in favor of the move is that keeping seats vacant will hurt the medical system and medical education in the long run, because there will be a shortage of specialized doctors and teaching faculty in the future. Those in favor also point out that there have already been 2 rounds of counselling and that meritorious students have already gotten a seat, and that it's only in the 3rd round of counselling that the qualifying percentile has been reduced to 0. Many doctors and medical professionals have slammed the move, calling it bizarre and absurd. There are 3 reasons. 1. It kills merit and reduces educational standards. One of the reasons NEET was introduced was to ensure that only meritorious students get seats. Lowering the qualifying percentile to 0 kills the idea of merit and makes the whole NEET PG exam redundant. Of course, the idea of merit is absurd in itself. One doctor pointed out on X that a candidate only needs to appear for the exam and leave the paper blank. They would still be eligible to get a seat.
Okay, so first of all, when the NEET was, brought into the practice, the reason cited for bringing in NEET was merit. So, reducing the percentile to 0, what is that the merit that the BJP is trying to, define? And also, we need to know how the, NEET PG counseling occurs. So, basically, NEET PG counseling, we have round 1, round 2, and then a mock-up round and a stray round. So, basically, the top rankers, they'll be taking the seats up in the first and the second rounds. And then usually the last, mock-up and the stray rounds is usually the private college seats and the deemed university seats that remain vacant, and specifically the non-clinical seats. So when you have 0 percentile means that anyone who's attended, who's paid the fees and who's attended the exams, or who was even slept for 3.5 hours in the exam hall, anyone can take up a seat if the student is able to afford lakhs and lakhs of rupees. That is the only reason why it's brought down to 0 percentile is what I do.
2. Promotes corruption. NEET was also introduced to end corruption in the form of capitation fee in medical colleges. But the Union Health Ministry's move now does just that, promotes corruption and high fees.
But a student who's got minus 40 in an exam is going to get a seat. If he's able to afford, a seat in a private or a deemed university, he's going to get a seat. Someone who's completed MBBS is scoring minus 40, and the government is giving them a seat. Where is the merit? So what are you trying to do here? You're just trying to fill the you're just going with trying to help the private colleges and the deemed universities and most importantly the coaching centers again. So it's just a business. BJP has always been about the business, and this is again business helping the private colleges and the DNP. The deemed universities.
What this means is that the government has basically allowed those with low marks to buy seats in private medical colleges. This brings me to point number 3. It benefits the rich. Those who stand to benefit are the rich and those who can afford to cough up crores for a medical seat. Those who stand to lose are the poor and marginalized applicants.
When you're going to bring in such high entry barriers, you're just making the healthcare a pure business wherein the people cannot, in near future, definitely people won't be able to afford healthcare. It's just one chronic illness or one serious condition that actually takes up the entire savings of the middle class family, and worse, they can't even afford that. So the entire nexus between the medical education, the private colleges, the deemed universities, and the coaching centers, the entire thing is just going to make the healthcare unaffordable for them.
The Health Ministry's move has also been slammed by parties like the DMK, which has been demanding the scrapping of the NEET exam altogether. Minister Udayanidhi Stalin said that the Health Ministry's notification shows the true standard of the entrance test and proves that NEET is not a test to identify talent, but is a screening mechanism to filter out poor and marginalized students. So what is the solution? The Union Health Ministry and the National Medical Commission must analyze why seats are going vacant and address those reasons. Many say that the solution is to reduce the fees and make postgraduate medical education affordable. Some have suggested converting lapsed private seats into government seats. Those like Dr. Yazhini say that the remaining seats should be returned to the states, and that in a federal setup, it is the states that should decide how these seats should be filled up.
The seats going vacant is an issue that happens every year. Right? So again, the federal rights they come into play at this point. If the states are mandated to submit 50% of their seats to the center, right? So if the center is unable to fill those 50% of the seats, there's a very good option of returning those seats to the states, where the states can fill the seats with their own candidates. And in the states, specifically in Tamil Nadu, we have an in-service quota, right? So in-service quota means after finishing MBBS, if I'm going to go and work in a government setup, the government incentivizes me by giving a reservation in my higher education, that is the PG. So if they're going to return the seats to Tamil Nadu, I can even fill the seats with the in-service quota doctors, so that there is a continuous supply of doctors to the government health infrastructure, and that Tamil Nadu can provide a better healthcare to the people. So again, it's a centralization. The hunger for centralization of the union government is the reason why the seats are, this particular incident has occurred.
And while the National Medical Commission is said to be mulling over making the NEET PG exam easier for students next year, one thing is for certain: the body which regulates medical education in India needs an overhaul. That's all from me for this week, but the News Minute does have a lot more video content, including interviews and shows. Do go check out our YouTube channel and subscribe to it. Also remember, if you value the journalism that we've been doing here at the News Minute, do become a member. And as always, if you like this video, hit the like button and share this video with your friends.